सर्व वेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरम तम गोचरम गोविंदम परमानंदम सद्गुरुं प्रणतोस्म्यहम्. So very good. As we have been discussing the Swarupa of oneself. So here, to assimilate, to own up, or to develop the commitment towards the knowledge, not towards the habitual error or whatever our organs of perception sees or experiences. Generally, we all have belief, trust on what we experience or what we perceive through our organs of perceptions. This has been fed us from our childhood. That unless and until you see through your eyes, you understand? You must not believe. Fantastic. But the problem is, whatever we see, that does not mean it is truth. This is what the basic science teaches us. We all see, we all experience that the earth is flat. But is this the reality? Is this the truth? We all see every day, this hand is clean. In fact, I remember in India, there was a big issue. And of course, behind that, this Indian Medical Association, IMA, always controversial people. So they came up with an advertisement. This, I don't want to get into that name of brand, 100% germ free. Then finally, there was a case and all this thing, then finally they had to put, what? 99.99. So what I'm highlighting here is, we know the hand is clean, but is really the hand clean? So I see that my palm is clean. But in reality it is not clean either. And there are many examples that we come across. This is something very common. Please understand. You see the earth is flat, I see the earth is flat. But in reality, earth is not flat. You see my hand is clean, I also see that my hand is clean. That's why you give the hand to shake, okay? Hopefully. Imagine if there is a lot of, black and all these things. If the person gives the hand to shake, will you shake? You understand? So you make sure before extending the hand to somebody, it is clean, okay? Anyway, joke apart. So you see my hand is clean and I see that my hand is clean. But in reality, hand need not be clean. In fact, it is not clean either. That's why this corona, you have to keep washing. The joke goes, from 2019 till 2023, okay? It will continue another 2 years, don't worry, okay? Till 2023, this fellow did not do anything in the resume when he applied in 24. 19 to 23, nothing. So, of course, in interview board they asked, what did you do this 3-4 years? There is nothing. You should have done something. No, please let us know. Because every time I was busy in washing my hand. So this is the situation. What can we do? So coming back to the point. This is one type of illusion. Even though all our sense organs, including eyes, sees something, but the truth, the reality is different. So that is another approach. That is called personal perception. This is called objective perception, other one is called subjective perception. Please understand, there are two types of perception. So objective perception is very common, which is very much questionable. Whereas subjective perception is not questionable. So how? We have few examples where I am trying to give build up, then I'll go 3-4 verses at a time, okay? That's why my mind is working this way. Give the gist, then take 2-3 verses at a time, keeping with this. So this subjective perception is this. Our popular example, on rope you see snake. Suppose two of us are going, one may see, other may not see. There is no guarantee that both of us will see this. If you do not accept this, I will give another example, is more subjective. Especially night 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock you are going, dark night. And you see a stump, like a tree, half broken, like what you will visualize? If you are afraid of ghosts, that's a night 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock I am putting it, okay? And that to your own cremation ground, you know in and out, who died on which date, how did he die. You know that lady hanged, that man took poison. So you have all the doctors of the village and everybody, okay? Now when you pass by, what happens? Now the tree which is broken, a post, let us say, a light post, maybe there is no light, will appear as the what? A ghost is standing or not. So two of you are going. One may see, other may not see. So this is called subjective perception. Can you see this point? So we have plenty of subjective perception, which is questionable. Sorry, which is also which is questionable equally. Okay, you can question, nothing wrong with it. But the problem here is we all are either this objective perception, we are caught up with the objective perception, or subjective perception. But remember, as the objective perception falsifies with proper knowledge and logic analysis, with data, so also the subjective perception can be dismissed with the help of knowledge. Is it clear? In fact, for us, objective perception continues. After understanding, after getting all the data, like hand, I know it is not clean. I know very well. Still, I continue. In fact, I am not supposed to do it. Even if somebody gives me something without washing my hand, I eat it. Because I know my body will resist. You understand? So that means the objective perception after dismissing, this is the most important point, okay? Objective perception after being dismissed, still it will continue. But it will not hold any sort of false notion nor arrogance, nor will create arrogance. Can you see this point? Whereas subjective perception, once it is dismissed, it is dismissed for good. Like the ghost on the light post. Another thing also, this is one way, another subjective perception. We have plenty of subjective perception, okay? Like in your house, let us say a maid servant comes. So in your house there is only 3 people nowadays, you know, wife, husband, husband, wife, me. So another person comes to help. So maid servant comes. So that day by mistake, God knows what happened. So you have removed, because many ladies have this habit, okay, sometimes they remove their ring, okay, because after all, because you know this engagement ring, first, that is very love ring, okay, that is called love ring, okay. Then second ring is called marriage ring, that is called bondage ring, okay. Remember, I am giving a new name, okay. Engagement ring is called love ring, okay. So marriage ring is called bondage ring, and finally that becomes suffering. So there are 3 types of ring, okay. So there is no 4 ring, okay. So that's why most of the time ladies, what they do is they remove. They have got this habit, okay, put it somewhere, and they have got excuse. Men, you cannot do it. If men do, that's all. I'll tell you, if a man removes ring, marriage is over, okay. That means you have found out something, you are doing something, you know. God knows what sort of archana will start, okay. But woman can be removed, do you know, with the excuse what? I was cleaning because it is enters all this thing, that thing. Yeah, you put a glove and you clean. How did it enter any water or anything? Anyway, but you cannot question, okay? Remember this, okay? Remember, listen all these things, but don't apply in your life, okay? However, now this ring is being removed by the lady. Of course, keeps here and there, you know. So one day, somewhere is missing. Ask husband, where is my ring? As usual, husband, what? But poor husband cannot say. In fact, poor husband has to be part of it searching. If you don't search, oh, that means you don't care. Nowadays you don't care, me neither the marriage. Hey, you make mistake. Poor husband, okay? So, okay, husband has to keep quiet. Finally searches, nothing. Then what happens? The lady has to pass on the bow to somebody. So who is the target? Now poor husband has supported. If husband not supported, then it would have gone to husband, okay? Now the lady becomes the target, the maid servant. Do you know, she might have taken. Because there is no third person. Now you start suspecting. So each of her movement creates some type of suspicion. Then you discover she gets a telephone call. Generally she never gets telephone call. She gets 1 or 2 telephone calls that day. Then what happens to you? Look, must be going on. Then that day she said, look, I have to go a little early today. I have some work. In fact, I have to go to the jewelry shop. She adds this point. What? Yes, because in fact one of my friends is waiting there. I'll go there, jewelry shop. A known shop. His known shop. Now what will happen to you? You will come to a conclusion, you will start seeing that lady not as your maid servant, as a thief. But you cannot open your mouth because you don't have any evidence. You are boiling, you want to fire, but you cannot fire. Somehow you manage, and she says, okay, I am going. She goes. And of course you are so angry, you know what you do. However, now somehow you try to arrange the bed, because that is how ladies do, okay? When they are angry, they start cleaning. This is another symptom of ladies, remember, okay? Whenever a lady is busy in cleaning, don't go nearer to her. That means she is angry, disturbed. Allow her to do that. You men should understand the trick, okay? Problem is you guys don't understand the trick and techniques, okay? I hope I am talking some sense. So she tried to arrange the bed. Suddenly she discovered the ring was under the pillow. Now the moment the lady discovers the ring was under the pillow, now the approach, the look towards the maid servant completely changes or not? How does it happen? Instant. Along with look, appreciation, all the projection collapses completely. That is what the job of the knowledge. But what happens here with reference to me that we are discussing is not that easy. Because most of the time I am dealing with my psychological aspect of me. In fact, me is presented as psychological me. Can you see this point? That's why I openly said in classes, especially morning classes, I have told this point openly, that if a person goes to a psychologist, he is not fit for Vedanta. I have made it very clear in the morning class. If a person goes to a psychologist, to be very honest, that person is not fit for Vedanta. It's a waste of time. It will not work. Because the person is not able to come out of psychological aspect of one's own self. And how can that person dismiss psychological aspect? Can you see this point? It's a big jump. But unfortunately, the Vedanta has become another level of psychology for people. These new age gurus, Swamiji talks like a psychologist. Swamiji knows modern psychology. Swami doesn't know anything. No Swami knows psychology, okay? Please understand. Neither I know, okay? If you ask me to spell the word psychology, I am 100% sure I will make mistake, okay? So that means you can understand how much knowledge of psychology I have, okay? How? So when the knowledge comes, all projection collapses once for all. Whereas the psychological aspect takes its own time when the person spends more and more time, the commitment. Here, the teaching does. Because today I was thinking this point. Why do we need teaching? Okay, teaching for Swamiji, like somebody told very nicely. Swamiji doesn't have anything to do, only he teaches. And we have many things to do. I am not telling you jokes. Somebody told this. Swamiji doesn't have anything to do. So he just opens the book and he knows and he starts talking. Hey, we have many things to do. Imagine. That sort of person does really needs Vedanta. Means you are not fit even for a psychologist, okay? Go to near to a psychologist. However, this knowledge helps us not to create further complication in our life, at least in a superficial level. Because you can see for yourself, forget about understanding Brahman Atman. Then second thing is committing, abiding with the knowledge. That is something really nice. Because the more I commit with the knowledge, the more I enjoy life. The real enjoyment comes. That's why when the Ananda is being compared, remember, Shrotriyasya cha kamahatasya. The happiness of a Shrotriya is much more higher than Bruhaspati Ananda, than the Devaguru of the Gurus of Devatas called Bruhaspati. Of course, Indra Ananda and all these Anandas is very less, okay? Remember. The happiness the Indra enjoys is nothing because that fellow is always afraid of, okay? In fact, Brahmananda is more than Brahmananda. In Taittiriya Upanishad comes, we will see sometime. That is called, more I have commitment towards the knowledge. This is the beautiful point. The more I have commitment towards that knowledge, the more I am happy. That's why we say, the more I am committed to Vishaya object, that is called Vishayananda. Yes, I am excited. Along with the excitement, there is fear. So Visharananda gives you pleasure. Pleasure always with a package called fear. So without fear, there is no pleasure. Try. That's why we make it very clear. Happiness, pleasure, we make it very different. So let us not get into too much in this thing. Oh God, my okay. My text I cannot see. I did not charge it. Okay. With this background, let us see the text. Okay, or else I'll go other way now. Now, problem is here. I hope it is here. No. Aha. This is what life is without specs. This is called, real old age starts, okay? So without specs, you cannot see, day by day, you feel 4 letters are not paired properly. So instead of understanding that your eyes are not able to read, so what you see? Okay, with this one joke, beautiful joke, I can say it. It was in Orissa custom those days, very old custom. Because many people were not that much educated. So how to know all these things? So okay, marriage has happened, everything has happened. So first time when this son-in-law will come to the house, so they will give some religious book to study, to read, not study, to read loudly, and to explain others. So generally Bhagavatam used to be given. That was an Orissa custom, okay? They will hand over one Bhagavatam book. So the person will start, reading it. And also they will ask some questions, so then they will understand how the person is really knowledgeable and all these things. So based on that, the villagers and other people respect. So that was the custom. So this fellow actually did not know ABCD. O, A, E, E, nothing he knows, okay? We call his Gaja Murkha. We have different names, okay? Pandita Putra, Gaja Murkha, okay? We have words. And book was handed over. But he had a very good guru who had trained him very well, because the guru knows what is going to happen, okay? So he followed. So when the book was being handed over, he took look at the book very nicely. So few lines he went through. Then after that he started crying. So when he was crying, so there was a mixture of emotion in him. Now my secret is out. Now what to do, what not to do, that fear and whatever, all these things put together, he was crying. Do you know what people started thinking? What a son-in-law. He understands everything. Now look, while going through the text, he understands the essence of that. Now he's crying, he's so devoted. Okay, enough, please close the book. We are going. And later on, when he was asked, how did you manage to cry? And especially, no, because I had listened to Guru, but that word did not work. Then, what made you to cry? I was crying. These people are so poor that I am married here. They did not feed the letters properly, because in my childhood I had tried to study, all the letters, alphabets were bigger. Now these are alphabets so small, that means they have not fed this book properly. Now from that size it has become this size. Now what is going to become my life in this house? Thinking that, I started crying. Astulamitya dasat nirasya siddham swata vyomavat pratarkyam ato musa matramidam pratitam jahihi yastvatmataya gruhitam. ब्रह्माहमित्येव विशुद्ध बुद्ध्या विद्धिं स्वामात्मानमखण्डबोधम्। अस्थूलम इति एतत् रस निरस्य। That means the process of discarding, eliminating, that this is not the self. And of course, starting with astulasya means this is not gross. So whatever I come across, because siddha swatah vyomavat, the self which is siddha, which is self-established, how? Vyomavat, and it is exactly like vyoma, space. And of course, pratyakam, it is beyond our logic. Because the logic only have sphere or let us say field where mind works. So being the cause of the mind, how can mind will work? Ataha, therefore, mrusha matram midam pratitham. So that means what is to be done? So anything that you see, including this body, mind complex, is mrusha, is illusion. It is false. And being that, of course, whatever is pratitam is being perceived, this body mind complex, everything is nothing but false. Then what happens? Jaihi, give up, yastvatmataya gruhitam. So that means what? You need to negate this body mind complex and learn to accept the one's own self. And what is that? Brahma mityam vishuddha buddhya. You need what? Vishuddha buddhi. So vishuddha buddhi, remember this word, technical word we use all the time. Suddha buddhi, vishuddha buddhi, in fact chitta suddhi. The translation we take it very carefully, generally purification of the mind. Actually there is nothing called purification of the mind, okay? In fact we have given lot of examples regarding purification of the mind. So purification of the mind is like, you know, it is like the one story goes related to, you know, the master. I hope I have shared this thing with all of you. This there was a student studying under a teacher. After studying many years, he said, look, now time has come for you. You have almost completed. But there is a final touch-up. So this final touch-up, I cannot do it. So there is a master staying in such and such hotel, that way star hotel. He will be the final master for you. And this person said, wow, that means there is a bigger master than this master, my master. He must be, and that way he is staying in a star hotel. Wow, must be really rich. So many disciples must be there, so many things must be there. Okay, so he was counting the days how to reach that new master and that to final master. So a day came, the master said, okay, now time has come, you may leave. And he was very happy to do this master and go there. We reached the hotel and inquired about this person. In the beginning they were reluctant, finally they said, yes, he will be somewhere here and there. Which room? He will be somewhere here and there. Finally he discovered the master who was addressed or given, who was supposed to be his master, he was none other than a what do you call? Housekeeper. Housekeeping person, okay? He got shocked. Just a housekeeping person is my master. What is this? He thought, okay, now time to pack up and go back to my master, enough. But master has said, look, you have to be with him, you have to learn. So the respect for the teacher is there. This is called Astika Buddhi. So finally he continued with great difficulties. And the master said, yes, this housekeeping master said, yes, I know you are going to come, no problem, continue. There was nothing to learn. Because housekeeping person, he is busy all the time, he was just behind him, and of course he tried to, help him wherever possible. What is to learn? Nothing, it's a waste of time. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, few days passed away. So he got really fed up of nothing to learn, let me go away. Suddenly he stumbled upon one incident. So the incident was like this. There was a room not used last 1 week. There was no guest, nothing. But this master used to open every day and cleanse the room. He got fed up of what is this? Nobody has used, nobody, and all the time doors and windows, everything is closed. Why to clean? That time this master said, this is what the job. Even if it is closed, still it gathers dust. Me being a housekeeping person, my job is whether it's used or not, I have to keep cleaning. And he understood, this is the teaching. For this teaching's sake, my master sent me here. Can you see this? So that this example we look at as purification of the mind. Whether the mind is engaged or not, I have to keep a purified mind. In fact, my mind is always engaged. Even though not engaged, that is also another type of engagement. So what is that purification? This Visuddha word, that's why I took it. Purification is nothing. Increasing sattva level. Because all these New Age gurus, purification, there is nothing called purification, okay? Not that you have to add some detergent and put in the washing machine, okay? And dry in the sun. So you are purified. So what you have to do is, so do some prayaschitta, go to the temple or church or go round without eating, without doing anything, do charity. So mind is purified. You understand? It doesn't work. See here, purification means increasing your sattva guna. Can you see this point? So the more your sattva guna, the sattva guna predominant. So wherever it says Visuddha, that means your sattva guna is very high. So the more you have sattva guna, you will discover, the more you will be able to appreciate the knowledge. If sattva guna is not more, is tamas, why? When you are arrogant. The arrogance comes when tamas is high, backed up by rajas. Just observe this point. Whenever you are arrogant in your life, you will discover tamas will be very strong in you. That's why arrogant person will love to eat all the wrong foods, especially cheese. In West, cheese they eat a lot. You will feel like eating cheese a lot. And of course, all this food related to tamas. Just I am giving you the clue how it works in life. So that's why I took it the word here. Visuddha buddhiya. So the buddhi has to be purified. So purified means what? Buddhi, not putting detergent and you have to purify, but increasing the sattva level. Vidhi, then only you will be able to understand. Because if the sattva is not there, sattva guna is not there, you will understand everything based on your guna. This is a very beautiful point to understand. All our understanding, you don't listen to me what I say. You only listen to what exactly you want to listen to. And how do you listen to? Based on your guna. If tamas is predominant, if rajas is predominant, why Swamiji is talking too much? Maybe Swamiji now is angry, getting angry too much. So that's why through the teaching, Puja Swamiji used to say, hey look, catch hold of people, start teaching. Whether their Saptaguna is going to increase or not, at least your Saptaguna will increase. No, really, Puja Swamiji says very openly. Whether their Saptaguna is going to increase or not, we do not know. But sure, the teacher's Saptaguna will increase. For that sake, at least catch hold and teach. And it works. Can't you see this point? Even if 1 hour you are here, the moment you attend the class and leave the class, some guna is changing or not? At least 1 hour I am not allowing you to think anything. That's a very big thing, boss. However, joke apart. So, Vidhi Swatmanam. Then only you can understand. So, may you understand what? Akhanda Bodha Swatmanam. So, that knowledge which is absolute. And that is nothing but this Brahman, and that is your oneself, one's own self. So that means the person really has to work to improve the Sattva Guna. Then only that Deho Am Buddhi, that I am body, I am mind, will go away. Or else I will get stuck in one level. Let us read the next verse. Mrutkaryam sakalam ghatadi satatam munmatremevahitam tadvat satjaritam sadatmakamidam sanmatramevakhilam. Yasmat nasti satah param kimapi tat satyam satma swayam. Tasmat tattvamasi prasantamamalam brahmadvayam yat param. This is beautiful. He gives a beautiful example of this clay and clay world. Mrutkaryam sakalam ghatari satatam mrunmatram evahitam. So if you see this clay world, so clay world means the pot made up of clay, the toy made up of clay, glass made up of clay, plate made up of clay. So this is called clay world. Like nowadays we are living in plastic world, okay? So but we don't give this plastic example. Clay example is very beautiful example because clay goes back to clay very easily. So plastic doesn't go, okay? Very nicely they say, somebody said very nicely. Chiranjeevi, now we have Chiranjeevis, okay? So Chiranjeevis means those who are alive all the time. In fact, very nicely people tell lie in India, especially in South India. Perfect liars. Especially marriage day, marriage time. So every fellow on marriage card becomes every man, okay? On marriage card becomes a Chiranjeevi. I hope you guys also must have seen about it before your name, okay? Chiranjeevi. So where is your Chiranjeevi? Means the one who lives all the time, okay? And every lady also they know also how to tell a lie. Saubhagyavati. Okay, let me not get into how to tell lies each other. Perfect. So marriage is a time, how to bluff. And I am not telling you jokes. If there is no bluffing, there cannot be any marriage. This is impossible. You just look at whoever is married, just look at each other, but don't think of me, okay? Don't think of egg, okay? Because that is how the marriage won. Okay, coming to the point here. So Chiranjeevi, I was saying, so among all the Chiranjeevis, we have to add one more Chiranjeevi, okay? Plastic. So plastic is now real Chiranjeevi, okay? Means who lives all the time forever, okay? They are called Chiranjeevi. Coming back. So this clay what? Even if you see the glass, even if you use the glass, so while using the glass, you know it is clay. That's why you can see you are very careful. So that means while using the clay glass, if you have little buddhi, you see the clay. In fact, there is nothing called glass. It is just for usage sake. You have given a name based on the shape and size. And the more you are aware of it, that it is nothing but clay, now not only you will become careful with reference to the glass, but also if the glass breaks, falls down, breaks, or somehow something happens, will you be affected? Can you see this point? Whereas if you look at, no, this is a glass, and you add emotion, my father had given this, my mother had left, my brother has given, for generations is going, or whom I love, the past monument of love is this. You understand? In fact, one joke I can tell you, long back it was. So when we were studying in the college, I discovered one fellow in the book had kept one flower. So to be very honest, by mistake that day I went to the lab, and they asked me for the record. As usual, I didn't have record, nothing. So in botany record, what you need to do, you have to get all the flowers, this, that, plants, all these things, you have to press it. Okay, you know how to do, okay, that's another thing. You are supposed to keep in and it's a long process. On which date you have to take it, you have to keep it, and also write to know what is the botanical name of the. Suppose if you do not know, what you do is take a fresh flower, put inside the books and put iron, press the iron, okay? That also does work, okay? These are the tricks and techniques we follow, okay? So, the teacher asked me, what did you do? Suddenly I discovered, I was sitting somebody, I saw something inside the book, and I saw one rose. That fellow has kept inside the book, okay? And many days it has been there. I thought maybe this fellow has kept it, as sample, very nicely has kept. I pull it with the flower and with the leaf and everything is perfect, so I pull it. Sir, I have done this. You may believe it or this fellow started becoming wild. How dare you to do? I said, what have I after already found? No, you don't understand. It is my first monument of love. I said, Mamma mia. Anyway, joke apart. So here, unless and until I attach some value, that emotional value, definitely no object becomes valuable to me. Can you see this point? The object is an object, but only when I add some emotional value to the object, then only the object becomes valuable to me. That is how all this advertisement agency, they work to create emotional attachment with reference to any product. Nothing else. Their job is just to make sure the exclusiveness. And the more you make exclusiveness, the more the object becomes valuable, with your knowledge or without your knowledge. Can you see this point? So here is being highlighted, all this clay world is nothing but clay. Same thing also, Tadvat Satjaritam Sadatma Vidam Sanmatram Eva Akhilam. The entire world is made up of what? From the existence, the Sat. So if the whole world is made up of Sat, that means what? That whatever I see, including this, is nothing but Sat. That buddhi I need to develop in every moment. This only happen, remember this point, this only will happen the more and more I have Sattva Guna. So this is all about developing Sattva Guna in my life. However, then he says what again? Yasmat nasti satah param kimapi tat satyam sa atma swayam tasmat tattvamasi prasantam avalam brahmadaya yat param. So since there is nothing other than Brahman, because everything is created from that sat, that existence, that awareness, that consciousness called Brahman, that is my own self. That means this, you are that, tattvamasi is nothing but pure Brahman, that is non-duality, and that is me. That is to be accepted, that is to be understood, that is to be seen in my life. One more verse we will see, so that two more verses are there. Let us see it, so that after that we will see the meditative verses. I am supposed to complete this two more verses, okay? Nidra kalpita desa kala visaya jnanadi sarvam yatha mithya tadvihapi jagrati jagat swajnana karyatvatah tasmadevamidam sarira karana pranah madhyapyasat tasmat tattvamasi prasantam avalam brahmadvayam yat param. So tasmat tattvamasi prasantam avalam brahmadvayam yat param. So that means this, you are that which is nothing, prasantam, very calm, and of course mavalam, pure, and Brahman, supreme Brahman, Advaya Brahman, that which is yat param, that which is supreme. How? He gives another example. Nidra kalpita desa kala visaya jnatadi sarvam yatha. So in your dream there is kala, and what is the period? As you know very well, the maximum length of dream is what? Come on. Have you ever seen? Have you known this point? Maximum length of dream that we dream goes maximum 37 seconds. Okay? Maximum, okay? It can happen 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. But in 37 seconds, not only one life I see, I see few lives. So that means the kalam of nidra, place of, swapna, place of swapna, object of swapna, object not of in, object in swapna, object in dream, everything is Vishaya Saptami, okay? Swapne. Everything is real or not? That's why I cry. And as long as I am under the spell of the dream, but once I am out of the dream, look how it was real for me. I know what is the pain I went through. In fact, after waking up also sometimes I start shivering. Have you not observed? Especially as a child. Child cries. In fact, child takes some more time. Does not sleep alone. Mama has to take care. Don't worry, I saw a bad dream. Don't worry. And of course, that time mother get a chance, all the time you are spending time in the television, stop it. So nowadays no television, on the phone, okay? Stop the phone, okay? So mother will be waiting to give advice. Okay, tomorrow onwards I will not use the phone. But mama, can I see only Tom and Jerry? Okay. And from Tom and Jerry, other things continues, you understand? However, what I am highlighting here is, as long as the person is under the spell of the dream, definitely the dream world is real. Everything in the dream is real. It's so practical.
But the moment person comes out of the dream, if the person is not matured like a child, the impact of the dream continues for few seconds, few minutes or few hours. Can you see this point? If you are matured, 1 or 2 seconds. The physical, what you call, changes that happen, sweating, this and that, all these things, that is continuously little longer. But the psychological impact of the dream stops then and there, the moment you wake up. Can you see this point? If you are mature. If you are not mature, you go to a dream analyst, okay? Analyze what happened to the dream, especially all your sense of guilt. Like, especially, suppose there is Kala Sarpadosham. We have in South India and all over the world, okay? Kala Sarpadosham. I saw in dream a snake is chasing me. By mistake, if you go to any astrologer, they will say Kala Sarpadosham, okay? Never do this, okay? However, and interestingly, somebody told me this point. I forgot completely. This one analysis they said. Nowadays it seems everybody's horoscope in India especially, you will see Kala Sarpadosham and Pitru Dosha Sarpa. Dosham. Pitru Dosham. So somebody was telling me, and I said, Pitru Dosham, why? It's a new trend now, okay? So Pitru Dosham, why? Because of incense stick. Why incense stick? Because incense stick is made up of bamboo stick. So if the incense stick is made up of bamboo stick, burning bamboo, it seems comes Pitru Dosham. I said, wow, very beautiful concept. So these astrologers don't have anything to do. So they come up with new ideas, you understand? So don't ask me how far it is true and all these things. That is not my job, okay? So like that, how it happens? Tasmat eva idam sarira karana prana aham api asat. So also, I look at this body, this physical body, my prana, mind, everything is nothing like the object in the dream world. But I am who? I am somebody who is Supreme Brahman, the non-duality. Let us look at the next verse. With this last verse we say, stop. Yatra bhrantya kalpitam tat viveke tat matram naiva tasmad vibhinnam स्वप्ने नष्टम स्वप्न विश्वम विचित्रम स्वप्नात् भिन्नम किंतु दृष्टम प्रबोधे. Very nicely. यत्र भ्रांत्या कल्पितम तद विवेके तत्तन्मात्रम नैव तस्मात् vivinnam iti. When, because of the delusion, something is visible, like as we discussed, that the ghost on the light post. Now, once the Viveka is born, once the knowledge comes, then what happens? The ghost goes away, but the light post remains. So that means always the projected world is nothing, always depends upon the substratum. So substratum continues as it is. So that means whatever projection we see, it is not different from the substratum. Like if you look at the dream world, Swapne Nashtam Swapnam Vishwam Vichitram. So the dream world appears in the dream, also disappears, resolves in the dream itself. Because dream substratum is the mind. So that means the dream world is nothing but it is the expression or unresolved thoughts gets expressed through the dream. So my mind becomes the substratum. So that means dream, this is called analysis of dream, okay? Dream analysis if you want to do it. If any dream comes up, is nothing but my unresolved thought. So unresolved thought gets manifested. You can use the word get resolved through the dream. In fact, sometimes dream is good. It's like, you are angry with somebody, okay? You want to kill that person. You're so angry. Somehow in the dream, you saw the dream that you have killed. Problem is you will not see that you have killed him. You will see that you have killed some other person, okay? That's the painful thing. And that fellow is next to you, but you could not kill, but you have killed somebody nearer to you or innocent person. That really kills you. But remember, suppose by luck, by really God's grace, in the dream, because in the dream also you need God's grace, okay? You kill the same fellow, okay? To whom you want to kill, so angry. After seeing the dream, you come out. I am not telling you jokes. Your anger will be released. After that, you will never feel like, getting angry with that person or trying to kill, nothing, okay? Because you could express, your mind could express it. So in short, what is highlighting here is, so the projected world is never different from the substratum. It is always on the substratum. It is out of the substratum, remains on the substratum and goes back to the substratum. So also me. The world that I live in, that is called my psychological world. Please understand. The physical world completely depends upon the psychological world. Where I started, I am ending up there, okay? Psychologist. The physical world is completely dependent upon my psychological world. If psychologically I am disturbed, now the physical world, is it disturbed or not? In fact, all my physical world is just nothing but the extension of my psychological world. I try to change the physical world, but unfortunately I don't look at my psychological world. That's the sad part of it. I do many things. I am supposed to take care of my psychological world so that physical world will continue as it is. I don't have to do anything. In reality, I don't have to do anything with reference to physical world. Remember this point. But what generally we do? We don't take care of the psychological world. Always we try to take care of the physical world. Have you not observed? And the more we take care of the physical world, the more we are tired and exhausted. And the tiresome and exhaustion is called, what? Maturity. So here, I need to take care of the psychological world. And how? There are few verses, generally we take it as meditative verses. In fact, you can remember, very nice in the meditation, you can take up one verse, really develop. Jati neti kula gotra dhuragam. Till now I remember this, okay? So it comes straight away, okay? Jati neti kula gotra dhuragam. Nama rupa guna dosa varjitam desa kala vishayati vartiyat brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. It goes brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. So few verses, I think around 10 to 12 verses, is very good to dwell upon. We will see on Monday. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada
Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.